Now create an endpoint OAuth your provider login. Hey, we did that. And this should be a post endpoint. Okay, so we could totally do that. And here it is, and it's going to be ologin Amazon and camel case it. Would you have any other naming convention on that?
I would flip login in Amazon just so it matches the URL. But that would just be a personal. That would just be a personal taste thing, not a necessarily.
Yeah, that's good. And so I'm going to come down to the end, or should I put it under login? I mean, this is just
it's a lot of code
a jumble
in here now.
of code, right? I'll just go down here. Bunk, boom, 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 and dump, dun, 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 dun.
We need the heroic music of the
Dun,
stuff
dun,
you
dun.
know off the top of your head.
Dun, 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 dun. All right, that's I'm back at the top. That's ready, and I want this to be a post. So if request.method is not equal to http.method post, which is just post in string as a string. You want to see that? Post, right? That's all it's equal to.
Yep.
Then we want to do http.redirect, and we're going to do WR URL encode, WR URL and code, http.301, which is C other, status C other.
Yep, which I think is actually 3. I thought that was 303.
303, thank you.
But yeah, you can click and
Status
see.
C other is 303.
Yep.
And we like 303. I have an entire definition of that in the web dev course. Maybe I'll show it to you. If you wanted to find it, GitHub goes to 11. I'll show it to you in the next video. Okay, I'll find it for the next video because it's going to take me a moment to take it out. So I've got, it should be a post endpoint that should generate a UUID to use as the state value. And go doc.org, UUID, and there's a Google UUID now right here. And we used this one before, so I'm going to do...
it's imported even in the code, so...
It's already imported?
Yeah, because you use it already in this particular
Great.
thing. So.
And so now I want to generate a UUID, so UUID is equal, I don't know, should it be UUID or just ID? Because UUID.
Yeah, UUID is the package. So.
Yeah, UUID dot. And the next thing I want to do is new gives me a UUID. That seems to work. New. And let's see what new is doing. I know we visited this already, but creates a new random UUID or panics is equivalent to the expression UUID new random must. And so if I get a UUID, we're not worried about what type it is. And then I think there was something in there about base 64. But is that further down? I don't know where that. I saw base 64.
No, actually.
Huh?
Not at all.
Not at all.
I don't think I've mentioned base 64 in any of these exercises.
UUID, what does my UUID come out as? My UUID, I'm just going to look to see if I need to do anything else to it. String, do I need to get the string of it?
Yes.
And returns a string in the form. Okay, that's good. And it's a method, and it's attached to that. So I could just do new dot string.
Yep.
And call it.
Yep, yep.
And it only returns a string. There's no error. So I've got my ID. And every time, go to the top. So I'll get the UUID, and a map should be used to save the state and the expiration time for this login. So we have here sessions. It's a map, and right now it's taking in a session ID and a string, and we're looking for a OAuth. So should this be a separate map
Yep.
as opposed to sessions? Because that's when you're logged in, right? So we're just saying how long this OAuth code is valid for.
Mm-hmm,
And so we'll create a new map. And this is OAuth expiration. Yeah?
Yep, that'll work.
And the key is UUID from OAuth login. And the value is going to be time, right?
Yep. So yeah. So I'd put expiration
session,
time.
Expiration time. That's great. And this is going to be time.time. Do we have time? Did it bring it in? Didn't
Nope,
bring it in.
because that's not a valid map creation. There you go. Right.
There we go. So, key is a string, state, time is expiration time, 1 hour in the future is a reasonable time. And then we'll just check that, right? Like
Yeah.
when it expires. And so I need to take this UUID and I've created my map up here and I've initialized it right there. So my map is OAuth expires. And so I'm going to come down here and do OAuth expires. And it's the ID. And then it's going to be time.now. Time.now
So
is equal to.
yeah.
Is equal to time.now. And then I'm going to do add. And then one, not that I need one, time.hour. Does that look right?
Yep.
It all reads so well, right? But like actually knowing, like reading Spanish and writing Spanish, two different things.
Oh yes.
And then redirect the user to OAuth 2 auth code URL value. And so now I'm going to do a redirect. I mean, this is basically the code. I wouldn't know where to go if it wasn't for this. Redirect, and I'm going to do that, and I'm going to do it to, and it wants me to go to auth code URL
Yep,
value.
So which auth code URL is a function in the OAuth package.
Function in OAuth package. So auth code URL is the state string, the options, and then it returns a string. Auth code URL returns a URL to Auth 2 provider's consent page that asks for permissions of the required scopes, but we don't have scopes, so it's not going to do anything.
But yeah, it'll skip that, but it has the are you
So
authorized?
Auth 2 dot
So
auth. Wait. Oh no, it's coming off of my config.
Yeah.
It's a method. So my config was called OAuth.
Yep.
OAuth dot auth code URL, and we need the state string, which is the ID,
Yep.
and we need the options, which is
Most you can leave those out for under most circumstances.
oh, you can just leave it blank,
Yep, because it's a variadic parameter. So
and it
you can-
returns a oh, we just lost our camera. Yeah, let's restart it. You got it? Here, you want me to hold that?
Yeah.